Once the Adam Steph put
So-
on bikini first. Have you ever?
So, Daily Grace. Every week we have Sexy Friday. Every week we have Tuesday when she answers. She hazes everybody. I mean, it's a ritualistic sort of week with Grace Helbig. Equals 3. Every week, twice a week usually, William Ray Johnson puts out this overview video in which he reviews 3 viral videos. And he always has people show up in the background. He does self-deprecating humor, stereotypical gay stuff, often stereotypical racial stuff, and it's always with an air of self-deprecation. How much of that is secondary orality? How much of that is like oral culture, as Ong has described it? Think about these 3 girls here and the way they presented themselves within the video.
Dumb.
Careless.
Careless. Alcoholics.
Annoying.
Annoying.
Very much so.
Just a sidelight, let me go just a step away from the subject. Once you graduate, you do not get spring break any longer. If you have a spring break after you have graduated, it is called unemployment.
Well, what about if you're a teacher?
That's the only way you can get one. Why do you think I went into teaching? I needed spring break. You don't get fall breaks, you don't get spring breaks, you just get to work. And in our system, you get 2 weeks off after 2 years. Some places in the world, you get 6 weeks vacation.
You get Christmas break, Thanksgiving break.
You don't get any of that when you work. You get 2 days off for Thanksgiving if you're lucky, if you don't work retail, and you might get a couple of days off at Christmas.
Women get like
If you
8-month
work
breaks.
retail. If you don't work retail. If you work retail, you work on Thanksgiving Day. Okay, so that was a sidelight. Now back to this. How much of this is like oral culture? You notice there's a structure of repetition. William Ray Johnson, you can predict every episode is going to have this structure, going to have these kinds of jokes, going to show these kinds of video. Harlem Shake has become so repetitious and so mainstream now that the college administration put together a Harlem Shake video for the college.
Here?
Yeah. That was a couple of weeks ago. You didn't notice that?
They did.
Yeah.
We did one at the
Where
cafe
is
up there.
it? Show us.
The show
I
us
don't know.
this.
I hope it didn't get out.
Was it really bad?
Yeah.
Show us.
Stephanie, I haven't seen it. I just remember getting the email. Stephanie sent out an email saying, we're going to shoot a Harlem Shake video. Martinelli's, the restaurant, Martinelli's did a Harlem Shake video. That's at least one step down from the college administration did a Harlem Shake video. But
I think it's brilliant.
it's so
I think it's really
repetitious.
Way to have people enjoy their lives.
It's like the Macarena.
There's
It is.
the chancellor at UNL did
Yeah.
one.
Some
I
of
think
them
you'd
are
like
funny.
it.
So it makes
It's really
people so
short.
happy.
But it's repetitious. It is. There's no attempt to innovate in this. In fact, that's exactly what you don't want in doing the Harlem Shake video. You want to do it exactly as everybody else has done it. You want to represent the same thing. So it's repetitious. It's part of oral culture.
They did the Harlem Shake underwater too.
Yeah, the underwater ones.
Yeah, there's
and
an
some
underwater Harlem Shake.
There's guidelines for it, but the purpose is to be innovative in your making video.
Right, but not terribly.
The University of Texas.
Because as he said, Harlem Shake, you're dancing normal, and then the beat drops, and all this crazy stuff happens.
The invention comes from like the size of the group, though.
The size of the group, and well, I mean, it's the same thing with a flash mob.
But yeah.
We can go to any of the Improv Everywhere stuff.
Chancellor.
That starts getting repetitious. And it's really a sign of secondary orality, I would argue. That, in fact, that's what we want. We don't want you to be, yes, innovation, little innovation, because we still are typographic people.
I was gonna say, my brother made
mascot comes out of
his
nowhere,
YouTube
just
channel,
sticking
and
out
he
the
tried to be different, because there was only 2 of them.
Yeah.
So they tried to do something different with it. It has like 800 hits, but still it's the same stupid Harlem Shake.
Right,
But
same
they
thing.
tried.
It's the
They
same
tried.
thing. Same thing. And we get to the point very quickly, because we are in secondary orality, still with typographic backing, we get very quickly to the point where we want something new. Right? The Macarena lasted, I think,
A year.
maybe 6 months.
People still know how to do it though.
No, the Macarena was hot. You play that as a dance right now, you're gonna have The Macarena actually takes more skill to do.
Chicken dance. Same thing. Same thing. But you can't have a wedding without having a chicken dance. I don't think. And you gotta have polka. Chicken dance, polka, and that's a wedding, man. That's a wedding dance. All right. The point I'm making though is that we are seeing the reemergence. Never has totally gone away, but the qualities that made an oral culture are still with us. What goes on in the next chapter, and I have another question for you, in the psychodynamics of orality, he makes the point that I've made here. In an oral culture, restriction of words to sounds, remember this is 33. You can't write it down. So the only way you know words are not things in the way we think of them, but they are sounds. In an oral culture, restriction of words to sound determines not only modes of expression, but also thought processes. You know what you can recall. It's not what you experience anymore. It's what can you recall. In a sense, that's always true. And it also says that our recall is not always good. We had, at Sterling College, there was a young man who had been at Columbine when the school was shot up. And he was taken to be an expert on the subject of Columbine and mass murder and the trauma, when in fact, being inside of it may have kept him from seeing what was actually going on. But he was taken to know what he could recall. So there's that aspect of oral culture. We talked a little bit how that gets changed by scientific culture. All right. Anything else as you're reading that you've come across and you go, oh, I got to talk about this?
I'm just going to take the test.
Yeah, take the first test.
Yeah.
Second test will start on the 27th, I think.
Okay. And that will be over whatever we...
That'll be on this book.
Okay.
This book and the Eisenstein book.
Okay.
Will be the 2 books.
The whole book or...
The whole book. But the big concepts. The big concepts, Ron.
Yes, sir.
Okay, make sure you've got the test taken. We have 4 people who need to take the test.
Yes, sir.
I think I've got all but one of the mass media autobiographies. I will grade those during the break. I'll grade the test during the break.
Yeah.
Test those of you who haven't taken the
I
test
took it.
by Monday.
I got you.
By Monday, guys.
9 p.m. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Wisconsin hailstorm.
Wisconsin hailstorm, what?
You gotta play one of those.
All right. Turn it off. Stop the camera. We'll go out on.